All right, I told you that I would give you an easier way to graph linear equations, and we'll graph something that looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. This is what's called the slope-intercept form. Write that down as a note, please. The slope-intercept form. This is going to be your slope. And this number right here, I know it's a letter right now, but this number right here is going to be your y-intercept. We'll explain all of this as we go through. And x and y, they just stay the same. We could put numbers in for them, but they're just going to stay the same for now. So we're going to be able to graph linear equations. Here's how this works. It truly is very, very easy. We know that this line right over here is our y-intercept. So when it, our y-axis. So when it says y-intercept, this number right here is where it intercepts that line. So we're going to put this at -2. And I know that it says y equals 3x minus 2, but remember that with our rules for adding, accentuate the negative, that actually turns into plus negative. We could just say that this is -2. So we are going to put a point at -2 right there. 0, -2. That's where our line, whichever way it goes, is going to intercept that y-axis. Now, our slope, 3. Now, we always want to change it into a fraction. We always want to change it into fractions. So this fraction is going to be 3 over 1. 3 over 1. If it's not in a fraction, always put it over 1. 3 over 1 tells us that this is our rise over run. Meaning we go up 3 and over 1, up 3 over 1, to find our next point, which is right here. Again, up 3 over 1 to find our next point, right here. Up 3 over 1 to find our next point. And if we wanted to go the opposite way, over 1, down 3, over 1, down 3, over 1, down 3. We could leave, it's just making sure that we just do the opposite. We go to the left 1, down 3. So, as we look at this, this is all of these points are on a line. And this line is expressed in that equation, and we could continue it on. We always want to continue it on as far as possible. Now, I don't have an actual line on this, so this gets a little bit dicey. So about there, and I could continue it, and you always want to make it as straight as possible, but right through there. This is the line y equals 3x minus 2. That's how I can do it without putting anything in for x or for y. But let's just say I did want to put something in for x. I could certainly do that. I could put in the number 3 for x. So I put in the number 3 for x. Put it in blue. Number 3 for x. Well, that's 3 times 3. 9 minus 2. Okay, so y is 7. So if x is 3, y is 7. Yeah, that's where I have one of my points. So that's just kind of a check on it once I'm all finished. But the main thing is being able to understand this. That I can see y equals 3x minus 2. That this minus 2 or -2 is where, right here, is where it hits that y-axis at that -2, and then the 3 over 1, that's a rise of 3, a run of 1. Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. Now, once you get into the negative, that might be down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. But as we get more and more into it, we'll see the difference between positive and negative slopes, and we'll get a lot of practice with the slope-intercept form. But that's the basics of slope-intercept form, how you can graph that just using that y-intercept and the slope. Please, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them. Have a great night.